Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 12, which is entitled as Bhakti Yoga. Sloka 13 and 14. Adveṣṭā sarva-bhūtānāṁ maitraḥ karuṇa eva ca nirmamo nirahaṅkāraḥ sama-duḥkha-sukhaḥ kṣamī santuṣṭaḥ satataṁ yogī yatātmā dṛḍha-niścayaḥ arpita-mano-buddhir yo mad-bhaktaḥ same priyaḥ. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. In the previous part, we covered adveṣṭā sarva-bhūtānāṁ, never hates anyone or shows anger to anyone. Number 2, maitraḥ, being friendly in disposition towards everyone. Number 3, karuṇa, compassion to everyone. When we say everyone, we need to add especially to those who are hurtful to us. Now we will see the fourth quality, nirmamo, that is free of mamakara, my body, my friends, my relatives, my car, my house, and so forth. One does not have that feeling or sense of mind, that is not having possessive nature. That is called nirmamo. Let's see how can he be like this. Anything that we say mind, it can only be related to the body, nothing to do with atma. The atma has no connection to the car, no connection to the house, no connection to any sort of friends, relatives, and so forth. Every relation that we have in this world is directly connected to the body, not to the atma. If one thinks something belongs to him, that means he is still having the dṛḍha-niścayaḥ buddhi, meaning I am this body. But a person who is free of mamakara knows that the body and soul comes together, and that event is called jananam, meaning birth. When the body and soul get separated, that event is called maranam, death. And in this interim period between janana and marana, birth and death, we get into lot of relationship, lot of contacts through the senses like eyes, nose, ears, tongue, skin. Contact could be object which are living entities, it could be a non-living entity, it could be the things that we possess, it could be the relationship that we have with our spouse, children, friends, relatives. But all these are only during this interim period from birth to death. I did not have these relationships, I did not have any connection to them before my janma, and I will not have any connection to them after my marana, death. Whatever I have during this interim period between birth and death, they all are leased to me by Krishna for that short span of my life, the short period. They do not belong to me. Krishna has given them to me, and Krishna can take them away from me. If one thinks like that, when the object one has gets spoiled, or when it gets lost, or when it's taken away, one will not feel distressed and depressed. For example, if one of my friend has left one of his belonging, valuable thing under my custody, and when he returns back, he takes that belonging from me. At that point, I do not sit and lament for the loss of that object, because I know it is temporarily given to me as a custodian, and when the owner comes, he is going to take away. There is no reason for me to lament. Similarly, every single thing that we have, it's all given to us by Krishna. We are simply a custodian. We take care of them. But when the time comes, Krishna has all rights to take them away from us, because everything belongs to Krishna. It's Krishna's property. And the relationship that I have with all these things is only because of the body. In this way, this person is free of possessive nature, mamakara. Therefore, he has this nice quality called nirmamo. Next, number 6, nirahaṅkāraḥ. Nirahaṅkāraḥ meaning free of bodily identification, not thinking myself to be this body. I am different and this body is different. Just saying this by words is not sufficient. One must realize and live their life in this consciousness. So a person who is free from the delusion that the body is the self, because this person completely convinced that he is not this body. He has seen from his birth until this point, and he is seeing people around him, how they change their body and how they leave their body as well. Therefore, it's very obvious for him to have this quality. Plus, he has complete faith in the scripture and the words of the sages that we are different from the body. We are in the body only because of our karmas. Once our karmas are finished, then we will not get this body anymore. Nirahaṅkāraḥ. 6th quality, sama-duḥkha-sukhaḥ, treats both happiness and distress, joy and grief equally, that caused otherwise by ahaṅkāra and mamakara. When we identify ourselves with the body, and when we have possessive nature, the outcome of that is going to be dukkham and sukham, distress and happiness. The opposite of that is when we realize that we are not this body and I possess nothing, then the outcome of that is peace within. This person remains in the same steady state, disregarding the delight or distress resulting from the pleasure or pain he encounters. As he is free from the feelings of I and mine, he does not experience joy or grief that happening may cause. The pain and the pleasure are for the body. The only way to cut this off is to have the clear understanding that I am not this body, I am Atma. The only time we have to feel Sukham and Dukkham is when we are feeling connected to God. We must feel the Sukham. When we get disconnected from God, we must feel Dukkham. Besides this, there is no reason for us to lament. There is no reason for us to be too excited. If we are, then it is pretty much based on bodily concept of life. It's based on the bodily relationship that we may have with people or things. But our current state of deriving or having Sukham and Dukkham is based if I have a connection with senses and material object, I feel Sukham. If I don't have satisfaction through my senses, and that becomes Dukkham, completely opposite to the devotees, the self-realized person. A self-realized person's Sukham and Dukkham based on the distance with Atma or Paramatma, whereas the Sukham and Dukkham of an unrealized person is the distance between the material objects. Sama-duḥkha-sukhaḥ, meaning he is steady state and disregard both the delight and distress that comes out of pleasure and pain. How can we achieve this? One can achieve this by applying the fourth and fifth quality we saw, which is nirmamo and nirahaṅkāraḥ. So, this dukkham and sukham are two manobhavas, an emotion that caused by the thought of loss of some desired things or a thought of gaining something undesirable. That feeling or manobhava is called bhaya. If that event happens, then that manobhava is no more bhaya, fear. It turns into a different form called distress, sadness, dukkham. Similarly, an emotion that caused by possibility of loss of undesired things and an emotion that caused by possibility of gaining some desired thing is raga. Once those things happens, then it is called sukham. For a self-realized person, there is nothing as sukham and dukkham based on what is favorable or what is unfavorable. The only thing that is favorable for him is Atma, Paramatma. Likewise, the things that are unfavorable for him are those things which becomes an obstacle for his self-realization or Paramatma realization. Adveṣṭā sarva-bhūtānāṁ, maitraḥ, karuṇa, nirmamo, nirahaṅkāraḥ, sama-duḥkha-sukhaḥ. So we have seen 6 so far. We'll continue more in the next part. Namaste. Hare Krishna.